Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Jessica Conwin, PharmD and Thyroid Specialist at Bethel Pharmacy. Tonight, I wanted to discuss the topic of 10 things that most thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them. Interesting topic, right? Because a lot of people, when you say thyroid or hormone, they think endocrinologist, because those are the doctors that have studied the endocrine system, which is the hormone system. But a lot of thyroid patients who have visited endocrinologists actually have wishes of things that they wish their endocrinologist would have told them. And so you can assume that since the endocrinologist didn't tell them, that perhaps the endocrinologist wasn't aware of these things. So let's dive into our list, shall we? So let me come over here, scrolling down on my computer. One of the number one things actually that people wish that their endocrinologist would have told them is that you are not crazy. And I happen to agree with this point. Oftentimes that's one of the first things I tell my thyroid patients is that you're not crazy and these symptoms are not all in your head. So you have a lot of reasons why people with thyroid dysfunction feel crazy, but just simply, if I could simplify the reasoning, is because the thyroid gland affects so many different parts of the body. So these people have a lot of symptoms. People with thyroid dysfunction have so many symptoms. And because they don't do the right testing most of the time to evaluate thyroid function, the few little tests that they do come back normal, right? And they tell the person your thyroid tests are normal, there's nothing wrong with you. And so the doctor doesn't see any explanation for their symptoms, so they tell them it's all in your head, and they probably call them or think that they're a hypochondriac, and they tell them to go home. So a lot of times most people with most people that have thyroid dysfunction feel like they're crazy because they go from doctor to doctor and the doctor keeps telling them they're fine. So that's the number one thing. Number two thing that people with thyroid dysfunction wish their endocrinologist would have told them is that selenium can help. What is selenium? Selenium is a mineral. A lot of people that have thyroid dysfunction, specifically Hashimoto's, will be deficient in selenium. And why selenium is so important is that selenium helps the thyroid to function properly. That's really me summarizing it. I want to go into all the details, but I got 10 things to get through. But yes, so the number two thing that thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them is that selenium can help because it helps to improve thyroid function. Number three is going gluten-free. Ah, yes, gluten in the traditional medical system I feel, is looked at as quackery. Like it's like, oh, it's just a fad diet. It's, number one, it's not a diet, and number two, it's not a fad. And so the understanding of gluten and its role in autoimmunity and its role in negatively affecting health is not very well understood in the traditional system. But someone that has thyroid dysfunction typically will benefit greatly from being gluten-free. Although gluten-free is not the only thing that they need to consider, as I've already mentioned selenium, but it is something that should be considered if you're going to treat and heal from thyroid dysfunction. So number four, what's the number four thing that thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them? It is that if you are having symptoms of subclinical hypothyroidism, like fatigue, weight gain, sadness, apathy, hair loss, fertility challenges, cold intolerance, brain fog, and joint pain, it may be helpful to start thyroid hormones. Oh man, I won't have time to get into all this because I already see I'm at 4 minutes. But if you tune in tomorrow for Know the Truth About Thyroid, the free webinar I'm doing, I'll be able to go into this point in more detail there. So I'll put the registration link in this post. But so it says if you are having symptoms of subclinical hypothyroidism, that you need hormones, that you're going to probably need thyroid hormone. So subclinical meaning that you're not off the charts, abnormal. You're just slightly abnormal in your lab values, or I shouldn't say abnormal, slightly non-optimal, but you have the symptoms. So with the pairing of the symptoms and the lab values not being in an optimal range, someone can start receiving thyroid hormone, but most traditional doctors will not approve or give somebody, or prescribe thyroid hormone unless their thyroid values are like way off the chart. And if your values are way off the chart, that means you're pretty bad. But so I'll explain all this tomorrow in the webinar because this takes more time to get through. But that's the number 4 thing that people that have thyroid issues wish their endocrinologist would have told them, is that even if their values are just slightly non-optimal or not normal, and they have symptoms, that they could greatly benefit from thyroid hormone replacement. Number 5, some people may not convert thyroid hormones properly. This is the number 5 thing that thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them. So there's a conversion issue. So most people that are on thyroid hormone replacement are on levothyroxine or Synthroid. These are Synthroid, levothyroxine are called T4. It's a T4 hormone. So this is getting a little detailed. I hope I don't lose you guys. But it's a storage hormone. T4 has to convert into T3 in order for there to be an activity in the body. So if I give you T4, levothyroxine, Synthroid, and your body doesn't convert it into T3, it's as if you've gotten nothing. All you have now is the storage hormone in your body that's only being stored to convert into T3. You need it to convert into T3. There's numerous reasons, numerous factors that affect that conversion, and I'll be giving that to you in the webinar tomorrow, so tune in. And so some of those, let me just give you some now. One of the things is thyroid antibodies affect that conversion. And if your doctor is not testing for thyroid antibodies, they won't realize or understand why this levothyroxine or Synthroid is not working for you. And so that's a huge issue. Stress is another factor that will affect the conversion. So again, if you're getting levothyroxine and Synthroid and you're still very symptomatic, more than likely your body is not converting that into T3, and we need to be measuring T3 and other lab values. So again, webinar tomorrow. I don't have much time tonight. Okay, number 6. The number 6 number 6 thing that most thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them is that your thyroid may function and work on its own once again. That's huge. Let me repeat that. Your thyroid may function and work on its own once again. So most people are told that go to traditional doctors or even endocrinologists that, your thyroid is going to continue to be destroyed and eventually it will burn out and then you'll have to be on thyroid hormone replacement. Or they tell them you're going to always need thyroid hormone replacement. I even had clients to tell me that their doctor was on thyroid hormone replacement, so they said, yeah, I'm on it too, and this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life and your life. No. I disagree. And there's plenty of research to support it, that if you reverse why the person has thyroid dysfunction, if you turn those triggers off, the thyroid tissues can regenerate, and now the thyroid can produce a sufficient amount of hormones on its own, and you can taper them slowly off of their supplemental thyroid hormone and see how they do, monitor their symptoms and their lab values, and see if they'll be able to be off of the thyroid hormone. So there is hope, and there is research to support that, numerous research. So your thyroid function can be restored. Hallelujah. Okay, number 7, Hashimoto's and iodine deficiency, hypothyroidism should be treated differently. So let me repeat that. Hashimoto's and iodine deficiency, hypothyroidism should be treated differently. That statement doesn't sound right. So basically Hashimoto's and iodine deficiency should be treated differently. That sounds better. So most people that are suspected to have hypothyroidism, they say, oh, you need iodine because the thyroid needs iodine. There's a huge issue with that. People that have Hashimoto's is low thyroid function, right? But it's an autoimmune mechanism for the low thyroid function. And so people with Hashimoto's actually need to be on iodine restriction. And so if somebody has just low thyroid function without the presence of thyroid antibodies, meaning they don't have Hashimoto's, then you can maybe try some supplemental iodine, but I would not give somebody iodine who has low thyroid function without testing for thyroid antibodies. The iodine issue is something that a lot of thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them. Because when people go out, like, oh, I got thyroid issues, run out and go to the health food store and buy iodine, a supplement with iodine. And if they had Hashimoto's, then they would be destroying their thyroid gland a lot quicker because of the iodine. And so, yes, you got to know what you're doing when you're taking supplements. Number eight thing that thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them is that thyroid antibodies, thyroid peroxidase antibodies, and thyroglobulin antibodies are a marker of how aggressive the attack is on your thyroid gland and can be used as a marker to track your condition. So you should keep retesting your thyroid antibodies. Man, I see this a lot. So many people that come to me and come on with me as a client that do know they have Hashimoto's were told by the doctor, oh, we don't ever need to retest this because this will never go away. Another incorrect statement. The reason why you hear a lot of doctors say that this condition, Hashimoto's or thyroid dysfunction, will never go away is because a lot of times those doctors don't know what caused it. So they think no cause, no cure. But we know the cause of it, and because we know the cause, we can now reverse it and turn it off. And so you'll see as you do the proper lifestyle interventions, as you work with a skilled practitioner such as myself, and I walk you through healing protocols, and I take you through all these things, and work on your hormonal balance, you'll see their thyroid antibodies drop pretty considerably too. I mean, like, I've had some drop from like 1,000 to 200 just like that. Just by doing, just one intervention. Like, it was just the beginning of us working together. So I've personally seen thyroid antibodies come down in my patient population, and other people have as well. So there's plenty of research to support that. So yes, if you have thyroid antibodies, they need to be tested initially and keep being monitored in order to make sure that you're lessening the attack on the thyroid gland. Okay, and number 9, hair loss could be caused by low ferritin. So ferritin, there's numerous reasons why somebody can lose hair, and ferritin is another reason. Ferritin is a protein that stores iron in the body. So ferritin should be checked if you have thyroid issues. And a lot of thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them about ferritin. Most times, most people don't have ferritin checked. It's very rare I see somebody that has ferritin checked until I tell them to get it done and get it ordered. Okay, last thing, your diet could be helpful in eliminating your thyroid symptoms, reducing thyroid antibodies, and some people even have been able to eliminate their thyroid antibodies through diet alone. And so this is the 10th thing that a lot of thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them, that diet plays a huge part in them healing. If we reduce thyroid antibodies, that means we're reducing the attack on the thyroid gland, which means we're reducing the low thyroid function, and then the thyroid can produce hormones on its own, and those hormones are helping to support and helping the functioning of a lot of organs in the body. So then the person feels better and is not as symptomatic. So these are 10 things that a lot of thyroid patients wish their endocrinologist would have told them. And a lot of people, again, think go to an endocrinologist, you'll get all of the help you need. And I do feel like those individuals need to consider supplemental care. And so because when you're in with an endocrinologist, you probably are only in that office visit, maybe somewhere between 5 to 15 minutes. That's not enough time to deal with these triggers that have turned on the thyroid dysfunction. And so you need to be able to meet with somebody for a longer period of time to really reverse this disease. And so I encourage those who are meeting with endocrinologists to also consider additional healthcare professionals that you be able to get a multiple viewed approach on your healthcare, so interdisciplinary approach to your health, and I think you'll get better results that way, actually, by using multiple healthcare professionals. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in. I was trying to make this video short, but that's a lot to get through. So tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. October 5th in Central Standard Time. Put the link in this post for you to register, and we'll be able to go into more about knowing the truth about thyroid. So this is definitely something you don't want to miss. It's not information that's easily accessible. It's not information that a lot of it's not information that some primary care doctors or even endocrinologists are aware of. So you'll want to tune in to get this key information so that you can help to reverse your thyroid issues. Look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.